Welcome to the video, guys. It seems someone at the BBC remembers what comedy is, or should I say, accidentally said something funny, but we are laughing at them, not with them, because we all know the BBC don't live in the real world, and neither do lords that sit in the House of Lords and scam us out of money every single day. But it seems Lord Hall has decided to show us that yet again with this latest delusional load of nonsense. He seems to think the BBC can be the voice of the nation after Brexit. You know, the anti-British, anti-Brexit Marxist tosspots who 90% of the country despise with a passion. He claims the BBC will protect us from fake news spewing out of Russia and China, which is laughable considering the BBC spreads more fake news than anyone else in the world, I would bet. And as I covered yesterday, these low-life, bottom-feeding tosspots plan to axe Rule Britannia from the last night of the proms. So are hardly going to be sticking up for Britain post-Brexit, let's be honest. It's Josephine levels of fantasy and delusion, so let's take a look at what the Telegraph has to say about it. It headlines, BBC can be the nation's voice after Brexit, says Director General. Britain needs the BBC more than ever to promote the country's voice and values after Brexit, Lord Hall will claim on Monday. Is he actually having a laugh? I would love to know where he's got that idea from. In his final speech as Director General, he will appeal to the government to unleash the full global potential of the BBC as the UK forges a new relationship with the world. The BBC needs more taxpayers' money to combat a second pandemic of fake news spread by Russia and China, he will claim. Of course, the BBC always needs more taxpayers' money so it can promote its woke bullshit. We've already seen the 20% hiring quota that they have to hit by next year for talent when it comes to the productions for their TV shows. So I really don't believe that they need this money to combat this imagined fake news spread by Russia and China when they are the biggest culprits for spreading fake news in this country, likely only beaten around the world by Chinese state media and of course CNN. During his virtual address at Edinburgh Television Festival, Lord Hall will attempt to set out his legacy as BBC Director General after 7 years in the job. Tim Davie, a senior BBC executive, will replace him next month. And I tell you what, your legacy will be the person who is remembered for trying to get rid of Rule Britannia, sending the BBC against Brexit and what the people of this country want, and of course, going against the agreement you made with the government that allowed you to raise their licence fee if you kept up the over 75-year-olds free TV licence. That, I'm sorry to say, will be your legacy. My goal when I arrived at the BBC was to double our global audience reach to 500 million people by 2022, our centenary year, Lord Hall will say. With 2 years to go, we are reaching 468 million people each week with their biased propaganda. That, of course, they make a shitload of money on when they sell it outside the UK. We have plans in place to double that ambition to reach a global audience of 1 billion people by the end of the decade, but it needs extra investment from government, and that bid is with them right now. And I sure hope the government rejects that, smears shit on it, and wipes it back in the BBC's face. They've had enough money out of us. They need to be defunded and got rid of. Send them to a subscription-based model and let it be there. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, then it's see you later. It was good while it lasted, until you went against the people of this country. A BBC source said Lord Hall was referring to a bid for £100 million in government funding to bolster the World Service in countries including Russia and China. This is about much more than protecting integrity in news, critical as that is, Lord Hall will say during a virtual address. It is also about helping to protect our democratic integrity and fostering unity and cohesion. Well, I've got to say, you trying to protect democratic integrity is rather funny, considering the BBC spent 4 years going against the democratic decision the people of this country made when they set themselves directly against Brexit, much like most of the establishment and tosspot politicians that luckily some of them we managed to kick to the curb. The utter bullshit in this article is just incredible. The forces of disinformation and social media tend to feed on fracture and drive polarization. No, you going against what the people of this country want does that at the end of the day, as did the Parliament, the Remain establishment, political commentators, and of course the lunatic activists. If you would have just honoured the democratic decision made by the people of this country, then the situations we see over the past few years would never have happened. They are often specifically designed to exploit division for commercial or political gain, to unsettle societies or undermine democracy, which is of course what the Marxist fuckpigs that are up there in the BBC really want to do. Undermine democracy, unsettle society for political gain, and of course commercial. We actually see it with the Call of Duty Cold War trailer the other day that pointed out some of the bullshit that is going on, when it showed a clip of a former KGB operative pointing out what the Soviet Union do that a Card Daily covered the other day if you want to go and check it out. I expect most of you have probably already seen it. His intervention comes amid a row with ministers after the BBC decided to force millions of over 75-year-olds to pay the TV licence fee. But Lord Hall urged the government to back the BBC as a diplomatic weapon as the UK seeks new trade after Brexit. Which, let me tell you, the government will probably do. The bunch of traitorous fuckpigs will likely side with the anti-British BBC on this. It appears they are doing everything against us at the moment. He will cite research claiming an exceptionally high correlation between countries where people are aware of the BBC and places where the people think positively of Britain. Which, putting the BBC anywhere that thinks positively of Britain won't be a good idea, because the BBC are full of propaganda against this country, the people here, and everything to do with it, especially as we know over the past few months are history. No one can do more to carry Britain's voice and values to the world. This could hardly be more important as Britain sets out to forge a new relationship with the world, based on an ambitious vision of global Britain, he will say. More and more, in the fake news world, truth is a priceless commodity in our societies, and something the BBC never reports, especially not if it's important to this country or involves the citizens who live here. So let's not forget that in the BBC, the UK has a remarkable asset, the preeminent provider to the world of facts you can trust. Are they actually having a laugh? Have you seen the Trustpilot rating for the BBC recently? It's hardly something anyone can trust, and the ratings on there clearly show it. This guy is absolutely fucking deluded, I think you would all agree. Lord Hall will suggest the BBC has a crucial role to play in bringing the country together as it battles to recover from the coronavirus pandemic. No, that is not something the BBC are going to do. Take a look at their organisation any old day of the week and you will see some form of race-baiting bullshit against the people of this country, I will guarantee it. And the rest of it is just a load of old cobblers. Not once does this article point out anywhere in it that most of the people in this country fucking hate the BBC and think they're a biased bunch of slags. I really find it quite amazing this idiot has been coming out with this nonsense that we have been reading through in this article. Apparently the BBC are going to combat fake news with their own version of fake news because we know that's what they give. Lord Hall here, now that he's leaving the BBC, in my opinion, should become a comedian because he's definitely trying to be funny here. I mean, if anyone can point out any part of this article which is actually based in reality, please let me know down in the comments because I'm really struggling to find any part of it that does. And as for bringing the country together, they better sack absolutely everyone that's there, bring in some new people who are not a snivelling bunch of shit weasels that will happily go against the people of this country and call them all racist because they voted for Brexit.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.